everyone, and welcome back to Ark Survival Evolved. My name's Decorsa, and today we're going to start on the construction of the inn that I was talking about at the end of the last video. But first, it has been some time since I recorded that video, and since then S Plus has updated. And one of the major things that's affecting me right now is that the farmers now require kaolin soup. This is not that big of a deal. I just have to adjust for that now, which I shall do with the inn. Now, first things first, I do need to decide on where I'm going to build said inn. I still think that right here is going to be a good spot, though I'm not certain that it's going to be big enough. Yeah, big enough is going to be the right term here. I also have the problem of I do need to bring water over to it so the kegs can draw water. Because, yeah, they can't use water from reservoirs, and they can't use water from containers. Now, it's just going to be simple enough. I can run a pipe from here over to wherever I decide to build the inn. So, not worried about that. The second thing, I'm considering putting a refrigerator inside of the inn to store beer and the stuff to make kaolin soup and more beer. So, for that, I'm going to need electricity. Problem is, my electricity is currently sitting over in the bottom of my little house over there. So I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put my electricity and then chain that over to where my inn is going to be at. So it's going to be somewhere over from that keep, probably over into the greenhouse for no particular reason. And then through the greenhouse over to where the inn's going to be at. So now back to that other problem of I don't know where I'm going to place the inn because of the size. So I figure that it's going to be either 5x5 or maybe 6x6. So if I were to make it that size, and yeah, let's go one more. It would fit pretty good here. Now, since the bottom floor is actually just going to be the cellar where I'm making the beer, I don't care if this tall grass actually sticks through it. So I'm not worried about that. What I am worried about... No, not you. What I am worried about is that the size... It's going to be awkward in this position. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it for a little bit. I just built enough of these foundations to kind of lay out something on the ground. I'm still going to need more my walls. I'm still going to need ceilings, all the other good stuff. But I think this is not going to be a bad size. Yeah, so I'm thinking for size and position, this is actually pretty much what I want. I don't see anything wrong with where it's at, other than it's kind of behind some rocks. But once I have it built up, those rocks won't make much of a difference. I'm also kind of worried that it might be a little bit too far away from some of my other stuff. I might actually want to destroy these rocks. Oh, come on, I wanted to jump on the rock. I might want to destroy these rocks and actually scoot it over so it's adjacent to the greenhouse. Even though I wanted the greenhouse between the rocks. I could also move it to where that rock is. Here. And have it adjacent to here. I still want this to be large enough that a fairly sizable dino, I want to make a pathway through here that a fairly sizable dino can fit through. my current fairly sizable dino is Hope. And Hope isn't even as big as they come, so... I don't know, I think I could fit a Rex through there. Maybe. But anyways, I'm going to go gather up materials. I'm going to think about the placement for a little bit more. And I shall be right back when I'm ready to build. Alright, and we're back. So, I gathered up everything that I hope that I will need into here. If I need to make more, I can obviously go make more. But anyway, so I did decide that instead of going there, I destroyed the rocks that were here and I put down my foundation. Now on this bottom layer, that's the stone foundation, this is where the kegs are going to go. I did discover that kegs are fairly expensive, even by increased resource standards. So each keg requires 500 wood. So with the wood that I had on hand, I made 9. Just so I didn't go overboard and use up all of my wood stock. Oh, I forgot to make furniture. I can do that later. But anyway, so I'm gonna start working on this and we're gonna time lapse it. So see you guys in a little bit. Well, I've learned something rather unfortunate. The castle keeps and fort stuff is not compatible with vanilla structures. The slope that's on the roofs is completely wrong. I had hoped to use these little this little topper here, but it seems like that's not going to work because it looks like Castle Keeps and Fort's walls are just that tiny bit taller, which means if I want to use Castle Keeps and Forts, I'm gonna have to basically scrap everything that I currently have. It's quite the conundrum, actually. I mean, I could replace... Okay. Let me actually go over to the castle keeps and forts, workstations, I guess you could call them, workbenches. And I'll show you what my problem is. So, this is the only, or there's two different types of windows. There's one that's just a hole, and then the one that's the little fancy glass windows that you can't open. And I wanted windows that I could open. And if you look over with this one, it's the same deal. So window, it's basically just a little rectangular hole. And then everything from the masonry table doesn't actually go with those. I think the masonry tiles, I guess you could call them, are even bigger. So I mean, that's kind of the problem that I've been having. I would also explain why in here it feels a lot more roomier than it does in the first floor of this wooden structure I just built out of just the regular stuff. Because the ceiling's right there. Okay, well, looks like I'm gonna have to completely rebuild this stuff. It would also explain why this isn't as, or is taller than it was when I was testing it. That would explain it, actually. So I can either keep the structure as it is and then just have wooden walls, or not walls, wooden roofs, or I can go back and remake everything in castle keeps and forts. Man, this is gonna be a pain in the butt. I mean, how am I gonna do the roof? I mean, I could... Okay, so decision made. I'm just gonna go make wooden roofs and then attach the little triangular piece across the top. That can't hurt, right? I hope. Okay, so... Come on. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go make up some wooden roofs and I shall be right back. Alright, and I'm back. That wasn't so bad once I went and made more pipes. So all I did was I changed the direction it came out, made a corner, and now it's all hooked up. You can tell by the blue water drop there. So now what I need to do is first let me get some of this out of my inventory. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure out where I'm gonna place the kegs. I've got 9 of them. I think I should probably start lining them up against this back wall here. So I need to drop down my S+ internal piping. Make sure everything gets hooked up. Okay. That wasn't so bad. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put down the piping on all the foundations, since I'm not gonna be changing the basement layer. Okay, now that that's done, let me just finish putting down these guys. Okay, now all I need to do to finish making the beer is to put in, what the hell is a bingleberry? Oh, okay. So, bingleberry is an unobtainable item that's meant for debugging purposes. Okay. I don't think I'm meant to see the, beer liquid blueprint. I think you just put thatch berries and water in this, and then put it in a glass jar. Okay. But anyways, I can take care of that off camera. I'm also going to start gathering up wood so I can fix the upper layer up here, because I think that's kind of a big issue right now. I also do need to bring in electricity down here, but that can wait for a little bit. I'm going to eventually want to drop a refrigerator down in this corner so I can store berries and food and what have you. Or not food, but vegetables and other stuff in here, so I can actually use this cooking pot for what it's meant to be used for. Alright, but I think I'm going to pass the question off to you guys. Do you think I should be using the Castle Keeps and Fort settler style for this, or the vanilla style? As you can tell, the Castle Keeps and Fort's walls are about 30% taller than the vanilla stuff. Also, there we go. This is the window I'd be using versus what I'm using here, the greenhouse window, which doesn't exactly fit in the frame as well as I thought it would. So the two choices are going to be either add in a second layer for each of the layers here, so each floor would be 2 layers instead of 1, or switch out each layer with just 1 layer of the Castle Keeps and Fort's walls. If I don't get a significant response, I'm going to go with my gut and go ahead and use the Castle Keeps and Fort's walls, since they do have a nicer looking texture, at least on the outside, and they're fairly consistent between outside and inside. Shut up, door. But anyways, make sure you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe for all my video updates. Gonna put a couple links over on the left for more videos you may enjoy. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and have yourselves a very good day.